Okay, I'm at the house for your final video. We just got done with the inspection. So, as you can see in the center dormer window, the chandelier is shining through the window, which kind of gives it a very nice appeal. We've got all the porch lights on. So it's in the afternoon, kids are out playing on the road. The neighbors that live in that house, they have 2 teenage daughters. They're driving 4-wheelers up and down the road. So there's one of the 4-wheelers starting up, so they're going to go out for another ride. I'm going to give a detailed walkthrough of the house, so make sure you listen to this narration. Turn the volume up. Might as well have your parents watch too. So, this is the house. Oh, by the way, the inspection came back good. Everything is very good on the inspection side. And the appraisal came back good. Mike just text messaged me. Said the appraisal came back at $213. We offered $211. So we're good there. Give you a nice good view of the outside of the house so you can really take it in. I don't know if you could hear, but there's children in the background playing. You could hear them talking. Okay. It's in the afternoon, or it's actually sun setting, and it's very warm. It's like 80 degrees right now. It literally feels like summertime. In fact, those kids across the street are wearing shorts. The weather is awesome today. Got nice big clouds in the sky. Let's go inside. Okay, so I want to focus on the foyer for a minute. That's the chandelier. This big boxed-in open area protrudes up into the attic. Now, you mentioned about tearing this down so we could have more attic space. The problem is, this is the floor of the attic. So if you were to tear it down, you'd have to build the flooring from there and have it run across and connect to the top of the door, which would really dramatically bring the ceiling height down to the point where you can almost touch the ceiling. Just like right here, I could literally touch this. So, let's not do that. I do not approve that action. I want to keep this open because I've been thinking about this and doing the research, and the whole reason why they did this open foyer is to give the house a grand entrance look, to make it look luxurious. The ceilings are like 15 or 16 feet off the floor. To give you an idea, and I know you can't see this in the camera, but that lamp, or that chandelier, is about as tall as Elliot. I mean, you have to see it in person to really see it, but it is almost as tall as Elliot. And then it hangs 2 feet from the ceiling. So that's how much space is up there. And then you come down. It echoes in here. There's so much room in this foyer. This is such a big room, and it makes it feel really inviting and welcoming when you walk inside this house. Standing in the corner, front door is to my right. That's that noise you heard. I tripped over that statue of that dog. This is the dining room. Let's move this stupid thing out of the way. So, to give you an idea of how big the dining room is, this will be my third video, and I kept getting interrupted. The width of the entrance is about the same as from the entrance to the corner. And then from here to the wall is about an arm's length. So that's a very, very wide wall, which means this is a very deep room. So my idea is to get a nice big table that seats like 8 people, purchase a nice table, and have this a nice formal dining room. So when we're sitting down eating dinner, you could look out over the front yard. There's a horse farm over there beyond those fences. So I think we should put a nice big dining table in here. Buy a big one, family, sit down at when we have friends and family over for dinner. This is the kitchen. As you can see, the back is tile. It's not vinyl. And then there's shelving above, the shelving space above the cabinets, which is a feature we did not have in our old house. So the kitchen has plenty of counter space, big enough. Fridge is about the same as our other fridge. It doesn't look like Jeffrey Dahmer lived here, so we're good there. You could Google Jeffrey Dahmer if you want to understand that joke. Microwave, dishwasher, everything works. The inspection checked out just fine. So you got plenty of counter space here, all the way into the corner, and then a lot of counter space there. Hardwood floors, pantry. The next area I want to talk about is the breakfast nook. Measuring our table and bringing the measurements in here, our current table is just too big for this little area. The whole point of a breakfast nook is to have a small little breakfast table here, so when the kids get up in the morning for school, get them dressed, set them at the table, eat breakfast really quick, head out the door. It's not designed to have the family sit around. So our table, if you wanted to place it to where you could sit on all 4 sides, to where you could have a chair against this wall, the table would have to stick out away from this window to fit a chair, and it would make the table sit way out here, to where as the chair is scooted in, you could easily walk, but you'd have to rub against this counter to get by. If the chair was scooted out, every time you'd have to walk by, you'd have to slide the chair in. So this area is just not practical for a dining room table. It would just eat up a lot of room, and it'd be a hassle carrying, clothes from the laundry room up and around the table like this just to get by. Okay, so let's focus on the living room. Vaulted ceilings, probably 15 foot or so off the ground. You got sunken in lights. And to give you an idea of how high the ceilings are, the ceiling fan hangs from a pole. That pole is probably almost as tall as you. If you were to stand with your head, if your feet level with the lights, the very top of the pole would probably be at your chin, probably be right at your face. That's how tall that is, to give you an idea. I know it's hard to see in the camera, but if your feet were level with the light, your chin would be touching. So that's how high that light fixture is off the ground. To give you an idea, look how low the hanging cords, pull cords hang. I mean, you've got a couple feet of pull cord. We'll probably change that ceiling fan out to a remote control one. Gas fireplace. That's your air handler right there, which conveniently eats up this closet space. So you have closet space above the air handler. I don't know what that is. It's something to do with the air conditioning. There's the entrance. Here's a little nook where you could put like a shelf, like some sort of display shelf going all the way up with like a glass front. So you could put, trinkets and shit in there, make it look pretty. Because this little area right here, you can put a shelf in there. That is the doorbell. This is the size of the room. As you can see, the entrance to the kitchen is nice and big. It's not like a doorway, it's an actual arch or an opening. Nice big room. vaulted ceilings. That slope right there of the vault vaults up into the attic. Master bedroom with crown molding. Master bedroom is spacious. Nothing really to see here. Sun's starting to go down. It pretty much is down. Nice warm outside. Plenty big. Master bathroom. Bathroom looks out over the front yard. Linen closet. Three slider door. Plenty of room in here. Walk-in closet. With a rifle case. Master bathroom. Let you really soak it in. This is a very pretty house. Back into the master bedroom. Living room. It's got all this angular design. On the other side of the fireplace is the desk that is sitting in the dining room. Back in the foyer. Everything echoes in here. Big front porch. Breakfast nook. That door goes to the garage. Well, let's just take a look while we're here. Wow, I'm going to need this anyways. Private driveway. Bushes separate extra parking from being seen from the road. House sits nice and high off the ground. Kitchen, living room, master bedroom. Laundry room. Pretty basic. Kitchen, living room, master bedroom. Everything's lined up. His house, everything lines up. Nice kitchen. Dining room in the background. Come on, lights. Okay. don't know how to turn that light on. So, bathroom, another linen closet or something. And then, as you know, this door opens up to the porch, where they have a fake tree laying on the ground. So this would be the boys' room. You can split it right down the middle, half and half. They each have a window that overlooks the backyard. The bird on the air conditioner. Oh, and by the way, the AC works great. So they each have their own closet, and the room is really long and deep, as you could tell. 2 ceiling fans. So the boys will share this room and have their bed. One will have a bed there, the other will have a bed there, and then the center will be like a common area where they play with their toys. I like this idea because the boys are down on the main floor with us, rather than being upstairs on the opposite end of the house. They could have the upstairs maybe when they get older. Nice bedroom, big. This bedroom is probably a little bit bigger than our old garage in the old house. The garage that was converted. It's definitely wider. It's much wider. It's probably a bit bigger. This is the bathroom. That would belong to the boys. Nasty wallpaper. Tear that out. Shower, normal shower. Pooper. Tile. Get out of here. The upstairs has its own chandelier. Random. This is what I want to turn into our TV and computer area, mainly because it's out of the way, so it keeps all the nastiness of that room away from the beautiful living areas downstairs. Come on, you piece of junk. Which one is it? Alright, so this room, a little bit smaller, but a lot of potential. So here's an idea I came up with. You could put the TV entertainment center against the window, thus blocking the window from creating a fall hazard in case the kids ever play around and want to open the window. Because if they fell, they'd fall down below. This window overlooks the front yard. Nice big oak tree. So you could put the entertainment center against the window to block the window, preventing it from being a fall hazard. And you could put the couch back here to where when you come up the stairs, you leave enough room between the stairs and the back of the couch to get around. And if you're sitting on the couch right here, you're still far enough away from the TV that it wouldn't be an eyesore. You still have about the same distance from our couch from our old TV. About where that bag is or somewhere you could put the coffee table. And then I'm standing right here and I am still away from the wall. So this gives us plenty of room up here to do the TV, although it wouldn't be as big as our old TV room you have to remember that behind the couch of our old TV room, we still had a walkway, and then we had the table and the exercise machine thing. So this would be the equivalent to our old TV room minus the big area behind where we stored exercise machines. So you can still put the couch here and have plenty of room. Or put the couch up against this wall, because you'd be sitting down, so this slope wouldn't really interfere with you because you'd be sitting, and put the TV against that wall. This wall is square, or this room is square in shape, so it's the same distance either way. Here's a really wide hallway, which kind of eats up a lot of space, but that's what you do. You could put like a bunch of pictures right here. You can turn this whole wall into a bunch of pictures of our family, or whatever, I don't care. Here's the other full bath. Ugly wallpaper. Everything works. Shower. Ugly wallpaper. And then back here, this area really is too small to be a bedroom. Look at that. This was designed to be an office. You could tell because there are 3 outlets, close proximity to each other. There's an Ethernet outlet and then a cable outlet right there. I mean, just look at this. You can just tell this is a very small room. It's perfect for an office, to be honest with you. This wouldn't be a fun bedroom anyways, because you're shoved all the way back here in the corner. You're kind of claustrophobic because the room is small and the walls are close. You only have one window, which looks out over the backyard. Which means we could put the desk and the computer against that window, which would block that window from a potential fall hazard. The same as the entertainment center would block that window from a potential fall hazard. Because if you notice, the windows are low to the ground. They're about knee high. So that means the kids could easily gain access to them. That black you see at the windowsill, that's the foam. It's just like the foam weather stripping. Needs to be replaced. So this room really is too small to be a bedroom. It's just too small. It's perfect for an office. You could shove a desk right there and then still have enough room on this side for another desk, like an L-shaped desk. Have your printer and everything, and then this way you could leave this room kind of messy because it's not a thoroughfare. People don't walk through this room to get to another room. This room is so far off into the corner, nobody would ever see it unless they actually had a purpose to come all the way to this room. So there's absolutely no reason anybody should be over here. So this would make a good office, and I intend on doing that because when you're sitting up here studying homework or looking at the computer or something, at least you have a nice view looking down into the backyard. But this room is too small and claustrophobic to be anything other than that. Because it's all the way back here at the back of the garage. Let's go in the attic, talk about that. This is the walk-in closet that also leads to the attic. As you can see, if you had to gain access, you just come up the stairs and turn right. Would never have to go back there to the office. We're all the way up into the vault of the house now. I mean, we're all the way up to the vault at one point of the house. And I'll show you outside how this works. Because this vault right here is a small little vault that attaches the garage to the main building. But when you come in here, this is the attic. The actual ceiling goes up higher. This is a good 12, 13 feet off the ground. That right there is the foyer. That's that big open box that protrudes up into the attic to provide that big open feeling in the foyer. So like I said, this area right here, this is the slope, the vaulted ceiling inside the living room. Those are the two sunken in lights that you see shining down into the living room. So this little walkway right here is that low ceiling I showed you in the foyer, where that light is. And then I said the one side is over there where I'm shining light is where the cabinet is that has the air handler. And then right here is the little nook where I said you could put a shelf with a glass front and it had the doorbell. That's right here. This is this little walkway. Right now I'm walking above the little walkway. So if you were to walk from the front door, you'd come in through the front door underneath this foyer. You'd walk through here and into the living room. And I'll bring that back up again when we get downstairs. This is the rest of the attic. And I was thinking the other day, this would be a cool teenage boys' room. There's a lot of room up here, about 1,000 square foot. So back there, I know this sounds weird and it doesn't look good on the camera, but you could put a little bunkhouse bed right there and another bunkhouse bed right there and frame this in as its own little tiny little bedroom, and then have this as a play area for the boys. And it goes all the way back there. You see the slope of the roof, the outside roof, and then it opens up back there to a whole area. And then behind this area, there's a whole other area where they could put a computer desk or a TV. And back there, they could have a computer desk or a TV. And then they have all this open floor space right here. So once you close all this in, you'd have this whole open floor space right here, which is literally the size of a bedroom with really, really high ceilings. Or you could actually put a bedroom back there, a small little bathroom back there with a shower, a toilet, and a sink. And then you could even put a refrigerator and a 5-burner or 4-burner stove right here. And on this side, put a little sink. So you could potentially turn this into like a little studio apartment up here. You have a sink right there. This is the vaulted, or this is the foyer. Sink right there. A fridge and a stove right there and a microwave. And then back here have a bathroom in that corner. A nice floor area. And then you could put the beds right up against this dormer window. That's the dormer window. Ceilings are very high. It's really warm up here. And then you still got areas back here for storage. It's all storage. This framework right here has to stay. This is structural. That's the other dormer window looking down to the front yard. As you can see, everything's framed in really nice. This house is really strong. Everything's tied in with 2x8s, turned into 2x12s. Framed up really nice. A lot of potential. These people left a lot of crap. Walk-in closet that leads to the attic. Kind of weird. You got to walk through a closet, get to the attic if you wanted to frame it in. Just do things later. Kill the lights. Might as well walk through, see it all again. Here's that little dinky bedroom. Will turn into an office. Really is a good office. I hate ceiling fans. This is another air conditioning control for the top floor. TV room, or soon to be. Leave that on, we'll shut it off down here. What the fuck? I thought I shut this off. Let's go back downstairs. The inspector said he was very impressed with this house, that it's very well built. And he likes it a lot. Let's go take a tour outside while it's still sunny out. Or well, starting to get dark. Back porch. with another little nook right here. You could put a table and chairs. Looking into living room. There's the vaulted ceiling. And that light right there, that little ceiling right there, that's the one we walked across in between the vault where I was showing you with the light. That's what we walked across. A couple trees fell down due to the storm we had last week. God, it's such a nice day out. It's like summertime. We had a little tree fall back here, nothing that hurt the house. Just a little dinky tree fell down. Let's turn back and look at the house. That's that little tiny room upstairs. Turn it into an office. It is really nice outside. It's not cloudy, it just looks great because the sun went down. This is where we will park the boat and camper. This house has the very steep chapel looking roofs. This house is what you call a Cape Cod style home. Cape Cod is signature is big front porches, dormer windows, steep roofs. Designed for views. This is where we park the camper. All this is our property also, where your parents could park their motorhome all the way back over there. I ran out of gas, so I need more gas for the RV. That's the garage. That's the front of the house. The inspector suggested that we chop this tree down. He says it's not a threat right now. He says, but it's a hardwood tree. And he says when it starts, come on. He says when it starts growing, he said these roots will threaten the house real quick. Once it starts getting in, so we're going to chop this tree down. Because as you can see, the one root goes all the way and stops right there. So he said nothing happened yet. Tree's too small. But he says it needs to come down. Front porch. Beautiful front porch. Especially in the evening now. Big oak tree. We're going to back up and take a look at the front of the house again. With it all lit up. It actually worked out that I decided to wait to take this video because it looks better at night like this. Gives it that real warm evening southern charm look. I'm not even anywhere near the road yet. I'm still backing up. Look at that house. Soon to be ours. Beautiful, isn't it? That's our well house. That's the master bedroom. Those two windows. Look at those steep dual gables. Steep dual gables. Crawl space is brick. There's the back porch. It's starting to get dark now. Really quiet out here. Let's go back into the porch. So now let's take a look at a porch from another angle. Look at this. Isn't this a nice back porch? Look at that. This is a really nice house. The inspector said we got it at a steal at $211. This is where we're standing in the attic to walk between the slope and the high ceiling. Front porch. Look at those beautiful clouds coming off the beach. All right, let's call it quits. Yeah, I think you're going to like this house. You're getting way more value than the Jimmy Hill.